This is the Roland SH-3A. It's the synthesizer that came out after the SH-3, which Roland had to change because of the patent infringement when they had a transistor ladder filter, a la Moog. This is a really unique and interesting single oscillator synth, and I'm going to show you why. The main reason it is so unique is the oscillator section. Now, this is only a single oscillator, but at the same time, it gives you such functionality with that single oscillator that, frankly, you shouldn't be too worried about it being a single oscillator. For example, okay, I have the 32-foot slider up, so we get this sound. It is set to the sawtooth waveform. You can also choose a pulse waveform or a square waveform. And that's how most single oscillator synths work, right there. Some of them have octave dividers, so you can get an octave lower, a couple octaves lower, whatever. This has 5 different octave dividers, or 4 different octave dividers from the single oscillator. And it allows you access to all of them simultaneously. And not only does it do that, but you get to choose what waveform each octave is playing, which creates some very unique timbres. A lot of people describe this as additive. I don't know if it really counts as additive, but it is capable of some very unique timbres as a result of this construction. Okay, so we've got a 32-foot going. Let's bring up the 16-foot, which is set to saw. It's not so much an octave doubling as it is a different timbre, and that's what's so interesting. There's the pulse wave, and then if we double up with square waves, you can hear the octave doubling there. But you don't have to have it all the way up. You can bring it down just so it's a flavoring, much like on a Hammond organ. And we don't have to stop there. We can bring up the 8-foot. The octave effect starts to become more evident with the higher octaves. Again, you don't have to have that all the way up. And it creates a new timbre, a very unique timbre. Put the 2-foot up. Now we have all of the dividers going at the same time with some different waveforms happening. And Roland didn't stop there. They thought, okay, well, that's interesting enough, but hey, on top of that, let's add pulse width modulation. That's what this knob is all about. It's marked the 8-foot chorus. It only works on the 8-foot setting, but it works to some degree on all of the different waveforms of that setting, including the sawtooth, which is interesting. Right now we have it set to the square, which is the way it sounds best. Let's isolate it. And of course you can control the speed. It is not only pulse width, but it's pulse width modulation with its own oscillator in there generating the speed. And you can use that in tandem with the other oscillators for some very warm sounds. And that's why the oscillator on here is so interesting. And you get a really unique sound as a result, even if you can't have oscillators that are detuned a little bit. I mean, come on. The chorus effect can detune it, but it also gives that interesting pulse width modulation effect. Anyway, we also have access over here to a noise generator. Now this noise generator is fantastic because you have level control. You can choose white or pink. It's set to pink right now. And you can choose white, which is brighter. You can turn it off, or you can direct it to the voltage controlled filter so that you can hear it through the filter. But you can also have it set to the VCA so it bypasses the filter. And then your sounds that are going through the filter can be affected by the filter while the noise is not. So that is a very powerful noise generator compared to the noise generator you usually get on a single oscillator synthesizer. We have control over vibrato, which is frequency modulation of the oscillator. The cool thing about the synthesizer is that there are 2 LFOs. You get 2 LFOs. The first LFO is a square wave or a sine wave, and you get to decide with this matrix setting right here which one you want. So we have sine wave or square wave. You decide the interval with the amount of what they call vibrato. And it also gives you delay time, so you don't have to have it all at once. And it speeds up in that cute and interesting way. Or you can have it set to the sine wave. And over here we have a sawtooth wave for the same sort of effect. There isn't a delay on the sawtooth wave, but still. This is the filter without resonance. This is the filter with resonance. If you ask me, Roland didn't do too bad with their replacement filter after not being able to have the Moog ladder filter. And you can also drive the filter into self-oscillation. And of course, this has keyboard sent directly into that filter, so you can use the sine wave coming off of the filter oscillation as a tone source. Also, we can affect the filter with an envelope setting. First of all, the envelope setting over here. But then they give you some other settings, so you don't have to be bound by this particular envelope setting. They have some ready-made envelope settings, like this one, which allows you to set the VCA envelope to whatever you want, while the filter is using its own little envelope setting, which is really convenient. And there's another envelope setting.